Welcome back. We don't dip into a lot of middle school sports on the show, but this week is an exception. We're joined by Michael Timmer, whose boys basketball team at Drakes Creek just won the SKM SAC 8th grade championship. Did I say that right, Coach?
That's
SKM
correct. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very Congrats much. On the championship. Now, I understand Drakes Creek, that is, the boys will be going to Greenwood High School.
That's correct.
So my first question is, I know when I was in middle school, we kind of did a lot of the same things the high school did, so the boys kind of got used to the offense that you ran, the defense. Is it sort of like that here? You guys run a lot of what the high school does?
It's kind of like that, yes, sir. Coach Stonebreaker came over last year, introduced us to a lot of what he did. We've tweaked it a little bit and modified it. We press a little bit more than they do. We just like a higher tempo of a game. So.
Well, I got to tell you, I haven't seen a middle school basketball game probably in a couple years. Probably should have had the opportunity to see you guys play, and I couldn't believe the athleticism of the student athletes that you have on your team and even on the other team in the championship game. It was amazing. You guys were going back and forth.
We have a really talented group. I've been telling them all year they got something special, and they put it together on a weekend. We've seen it a couple times during the year where they really put together the effort that we wanted, and they did on Saturday too, which was really great.
Yep.
How exciting is it for you to coach these boys, knowing that in a couple years when they play for Greenwood, maybe see them kind of grow, in the high school system, and know that when they were playing for you, like, we won, and now they're maybe carrying it over when they reach the high school level?
I think it does nothing but breed success, and I love doing that, being able to teach them the intangibles at the middle school level, and then watch them grow with those intangibles when they get to high school. So,
now your guys, to win this championship, you played what, 5 games?
We had to play 3 games that day.
Three games that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were the only upset of the day. We upset all 3 games. We were the 5 seed going in the tournament and beat the 1, 2, and 4.
Wow. So anybody that says, it's tough to play back-to-back games, you guys played back-to-back-to-back, basically.
We had to play all day.
That's crazy.
That's tough. 10:15 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, well, Andrew, I can tell you.
I would drop down. I would not be able to play 1.
Maybe when you were in 8th grade, you played like these guys. But in my day, we did not play basketball the way these guys play. I mean,
they played really well.
Yeah, I mean, they take it to the hoop. They got great outside shots. They make their free throws. Kind of take us through what was the season like for your team?
Really a lot of ups and downs. Our second game, we won the first game. Second game, we beat Bowling Green by 21. Really ready to go. That was our goal all year long, was to really take it to teams that beat us last year, took it to us. And we could do that. We were talented enough to do that. And then we played teams that we should have beat and played down to them. But it was really a learning process, and they really took every lesson, to heart, and in the end of it just kind of worked out.
Now, when you reach the tournament in 3 games in 1 day, is that beneficial in terms of you guys, maybe you pull off that first upset, you don't have to go back and practice for 3 days, you kind of keep the momentum and you're keeping it all day? That's got to help, I imagine.
I think that's the only good thing about playing a tournament in all 1 day. I'd much rather have a couple days off and go out there and play a game. But the all-day tournament really has the advantages for the underdog.
Now, Coach, just observing the game, the championship game that I was at, it seemed like there was more pressure on the coaches, Jeremy, Perry, just their facial expressions. You were doing your thing, and the guys seemed like they were just having a blast out there.
Oh, they were. We play really well loose and reserve.
Yeah.
Okay, if we got a little swagger about us, we're going to play a lot better. The boys do, and that puts the pressure on the coaches. We need to call the right things, make sure we're calling the right presses, the right offenses. But the boys, they played well.
Yeah.
Now, how often does Coach Stonebreaker, some of the maybe assistants at the high school level, come down and would check you guys out just to see what they've got kind of going on down in the farm system?
They don't come in at all during practices or anything, but he probably showed up to a couple, 3, 4 games this year. Really saw what the kids had.
So what was the coach's reaction, Coach Stonebreaker, to the news that you guys won the middle school championship and he's got this crew coming in?
I think it was happy. I know that several of them are playing at the next level right now. Yeah. Our season's over. They went up to the next level to play in the freshman level. So.
And how beneficial, I got to imagine that's to be able to just get done playing 8th grade and step up and play in the freshman level, get some experience before you're even a freshman. got to be invaluable.
I think it's it is invaluable, and it really is going to help them in what they're going to be able to do next year. My big thing was always never interrupt their 8th grade season, though. But when ours was over, just move on up. It's pretty great.
So will you get the 7th grade? Do the kids come to you, or is that the process?
Yeah, they'll come to me next year. The 7th grade kids will come to me, and hopefully we'll learn and we'll improve, and we can do the same thing next year.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? I know you talked about it a little bit, but what was when you started out coaching? What got you into the 8th grade? Was it just that's where the opening was, or did you target kind of that grade? Like I want to kind of mold them right before they get to high school. What was it?
I'm just a teacher first. I like teaching language arts and math. Basketball is definitely a love. I've played it for a long time. If I can show the boys the same thing, then middle school is definitely the level for me.
Now, for your team, do you have tryouts?
Yeah.
Do you have to have cuts for this team? Or
when Drake's first started out, we had over 100 per grade. So 100 7th graders trying out and 100 8th graders trying out. We had to separate them. Last past year, we've had about 100 combined, so 50 7th graders, 50 8th graders. We cut down to 12. We only keep 12.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good number to have.
Now, is it just one team? I know I'm from Ohio, and we played. You kind of had an A team and a B team, so more kids were involved. Do you guys do anything like that? Or is it just maybe not enough other schools that want to have the numbers to match that up?
It has to be 7th, 8th grade. So 7th graders play on the 7th grade team, 8th graders play on the 8th grade team.
Yeah. And it's Kentucky, too. I mean, Ohio.
Well, it's different with each state is a little bit different and how they do things. Well, Coach, lastly, got about 45 seconds left. Just what was the one thing you took away from this season watching these kids that you think will really that you'll see when they step up in the high school level?
Number one, they're great kids. And number two, they got the determination and the will to be able to do it. And if they put enough effort into it, I think they can do a lot in high school. Their skills definitely there. Just needed to work on defining that and putting that towards the ultimate goal of high school.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. Congrats on the championship.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to chat with some of the players from that championship team. Stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Connection.